Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I brought my usual suspects, my 3 meditation books that I read over here, but I also brought Nightlight, a book of nighttime meditations by Amy Dean. It's from Hazelden Meditations, which I love all their meditation books. And this is a good book to read at the end of your day, like maybe right before you go to bed. That's what I use it for. So I thought that since I'm posting this video late, because it's already 8:05 p.m. as I'm filming this, I thought that I would read from this to kind of end the day for those of you that are watching or listening to this video before you go to sleep. I thought that might be nice to do something, a little different over here today. So I'm going to read, let's see, I think I'm going to read from the language of letting go first, unless it's a meditation that completely does not apply. Let's see. Oh, I like this one. Okay, August 18th, valuing this moment. I was just talking about this on my vlog, like at length last night. Valuing this moment, August 18th. Detachment involves present moment living. Detachment involves present moment living. Living in the here and now. We allow life to happen instead of forcing and trying to control it. We relinquish regrets over the past and fears about the future. We make the most of each day. Codependent no more. Or from Codependent No More. This moment, we are right where we need to be, right where we are meant to be. How often we waste our time and energy wishing we were someone else, were doing something else, or were someplace else. We may wish our present circumstances were different. We needlessly confuse ourselves and divert our energy by thinking that our present moment is a mistake. But we are right where we need to be for now. Our feelings, thoughts, circumstances, challenges, tasks, all of it is on schedule. We spoil the beauty of the present moment by wishing for something else. So true. Come back home to yourself. Come back home to the present moment. We will not change things by escaping or leaving the moment. We will change things by surrendering to and accepting the moment. Some things are easier to accept than others. Let me go back and read that paragraph again. I like that. Come back home to yourself. Come back home to the present moment. We will not change things by escaping or leaving the moment. We will change things by surrendering to and accepting the moment. Some moments are easier to accept than others. To trust the process, to trust all of it, without hanging on to the past or peering too far into the future, requires a great deal of faith. Surrender to the moment. If you're feeling angry, get mad. If you're setting a boundary, dive into that. If you're grieving, grieve. Get into it. Step where instinct leads. Step where instinct leads. If you're waiting, wait. If you have a task, throw yourself into the work. Get into the moment. The moment is right. We are where we are, and it is okay. It is right where we're meant to be to get where we're going tomorrow, and that place will be good. It has been planned in love for us. God, help me let go of my need to be someone other than who I am today. Help me dive fully into the present moment. I will accept and surrender to my present moments. The difficult ones and the easy ones, trusting the whole process. I will stop trying to control the process. Instead, I will relax and let myself experience it. I love this meditation. There was something at the beginning that I wanted to read. Now I can't remember what it is. Oh, I know what it is, because the whole meditation was about that. Well, the first thing I wanted to say is, this is one of the most difficult lessons that I am learning in my life. I won't say that I've learned it. I won't say that I've learned it because I have not learned it yet. I'm still practicing it. It's something that I have to practice on a regular basis. And I think to acknowledge the lessons that we're still learning, is really important. I talk over here about the lessons I've learned a lot in life, or the lessons that I want to learn, but rarely do I talk about the lessons that I'm continuing to learn on a regular basis, and this is definitely one of them for me, is staying in the present moment. I'm a list maker, I'm a planner, I'm somebody that's always into the, thinking of the next thing and whatever, and it's like, for example, my husband and I are getting ready to go on this trip to Las Vegas for a week for our anniversary. And I, have all these things I have to do to get prepared to go on the trip. Because when I get on the trip, then I just want to relax. I just want to be there and just be present. And for me, sometimes, me getting away it's the only time that I can really just kind of be present, because even just sitting here, if I didn't have a whole lot to do, I'd be like, well, I could, clean the floorboards, or I could organize a cabinet, or, there's always something that I feel like I could be doing, instead of just being present, you know? And I've really been practicing this recently with like sitting outside at the end of the day and watching I've been watching this true crime documentary, and before that I was watching these drag pageants and things like that, just to kind of like sit in the moment and really relax, you know? And enjoy the moment fully. You know, like the saying, what is it? You put one foot in, this is a recovery saying, you put one foot in yesterday, one foot in tomorrow, and you poop all over today. And it's the truth, you know? And for so long I did that. I was like all like thinking about the past all the time. And then I was always like planning for the future, and I never really was like enjoying the day. It's like what I was talking about yesterday with being content. Just enjoying being content. The other thing I love about this meditation, which the whole meditation was about this is what I was going to say, was the idea of you're exactly where you need to be. You know, I have had that said to me so much in my life, in recovery, by sponsors, by friends of mine, in meetings, just somebody looking at me and saying it, you know, and now I get to say that to other people as well, but it's the truth, you know? And like, I didn't really understand that at the beginning, like when people would start saying that to me. It's like the same thing when people would say, keep coming back. I'd be like, why are they saying that to me? I'm here, like, isn't that good enough, you know? But people would say to me, you're exactly where you need to be. And I'd be frustrated, angry, resentful, you know, grieving, hurt, PO'd, not happy, whatever, you know? And they'd say, you're exactly where you need to be. You need to be feeling your feelings. And sometimes that's true, you know? Most of the time it's true. We need to be feeling our feelings in that moment. Just the reason I say sometimes that's true is because to stay stuck in that feeling forever, I don't think that's healthy for anybody. But when a feeling or an emotion comes over me, you know, feelings are not facts. For me to make decisions based on feelings is not smart, right? But because the feelings can change from minute to minute to minute. But when I have a feeling come in, I have a right to express that. I have a right to share that with a friend or a family member. I have a right to feel angry if I'm angry. I have a right to feel happy and excited if I'm happy and excited, you know? And I have a right to grieve and cry and be sad if I'm feeling that. And I think often in life, we push that down and we don't allow ourselves to feel that, you know? Because we think, well, we're more concerned with what other people think of our feelings than allowing ourselves to be in the present moment and just feel our feelings, okay? So, okay? So, wherever you are at in your life today, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And once I accepted that and I realized that there's a journey that I am on, and I don't know what that journey is, you know? I believe in a higher power, so I believe that has something to do with it. But I might be wrong. I don't know. I might get to the end of my life and there's no journey. You know what I mean? But every day as a human being, I am on a journey every day, you know? And, so the most important things I learned, I'm having a hard time speaking today, I don't know why. One of the most important lessons I learned is that my journey is different than everybody else's. And once I accepted that and I stopped trying to compare my journey to other people's and be like, well, look, they have this, or they don't get upset when this happens, or they don't get angry when this happens, or they don't get crying when this happens, or they don't get, you know, excited about cozy mysteries or silly things. You know, when I stopped comparing my life to other people, because this friend of mine that said, you know, you always lose by comparison, and I believe it to be true. When I stopped comparing my journey to other people, and I realized that my journey, the things that happen to me, the way that I process them, the way that I think about them, is unique and individual to me. To me, completely. And the way that you process and think about things is individual to you. Feel your feelings. Allow yourself to feel your feelings. That's your right. You know, that's your right. And I don't think we allow ourselves that enough. And whatever you're feeling today, wherever you're at, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And you're going to be okay. Trust me, you're going to be okay. All right, let's read from the Amy Dean book from today. All right, I haven't looked at this today, so I don't know what it's going to say. August 18th. Oh, it's a Mother Goose saying for the beginning. For every ailment under the sun, there is a remedy, or there is none. If there be one, try to find it. If there is none, never mind it. Mother Goose. Long ago, did I say August 18th? August 18th. Long ago, peddlers sold instant remedies for everything from illness to baldness. Miracle cures did a brisk business because people always wanted to try the next instant solution to persistent ailments and problems. Are we still looking for a miracle cure, one that will make us that person we always wanted to be? Although those peddlers sold a lot of cures, none beat the time-tested methods of assumed success for curing worry and woes. For curing worry and woes. Plenty of time, a good deal of effort, and an acceptance of things that can't be changed. There are miracle cures in the program, but they are not instant. In fact, Sometimes we can't even feel the restorative powers until months later. But if we continue to take them, the cures we get in the program are guaranteed for life. Our lives can be free from worries and woes with the program of recovery. Tonight I can plan to get a good healthy dose of the cure by attending a meeting tomorrow, reading literature, or talking with my sponsor, or whatever it is that you do for yourself, whether that's go to yoga or Pilates, or have lunch with your friends, or do journaling, or exercise, or whatever it is that you do for yourself. It doesn't just have to be recovery-based stuff, but for me, those are the things that I do, And I was just talking about this in my meeting last night. I was saying that there became a point when I had to allow the 12-step program that I'm in to work, that I had to stop being resistant to it, and the things that people would suggest to me in and out of the program, my dad, things that he would suggest to me, to realize that people really just wanted the best for me, and to look at that piece of advice or suggestion and take it and allow it to work in my life. Sometimes we are the biggest obstacle to ourselves and our lives getting better. Most times I think I have been the obstacle in the way of my life getting better, And if you remember the movie, if you've ever seen it, Girl Interrupted, with Angelina Jolie and Winona Ryder, it's fantastic, and it's a true story. And it's about this young lady. I think her name is it Jan Karen that wrote that book? I can't remember. But anyway, she wrote the memoir of being in a psychiatric facility, and they were resistant and they ran from the program and all this kind of stuff. And then there's a scene at the end when she comes back. I think I almost said Whitney Houston. I think Whoopi Goldberg plays her nurse in that movie. I could be wrong though. Why do I feel like I wish I had my phone. Anyway, there's a scene in the movie where Winona Ryder, she's come back from running away with Angelina Jolie, and she stops fighting. She's she realizes she wants to get better. And they kind of show this montage of her sitting with her psychiatrist, and there's music playing in the background, and they show her going through the day and doing this and talking and whatever, and she realizes I want to get better, I think for me, people, they say what changed for you with going to marriage counseling, you were, because I always share about how I was so resistant, and then one day I said, okay, I'm gonna go. I went because my husband said to me, if we don't go to marriage counseling, our marriage isn't gonna make it, and because we have nothing to stand, we have no legs to stand on at this point. That's why I went as a last-ditch effort, because I was so afraid that our marriage was gonna fall apart, and who am I if I don't have this person, because I'm codependent as hell, who am I if I don't have this person next to me, right? Which is interesting, because one of the greatest lessons I learned from marriage counseling was that I don't need to define myself by my relationship with somebody else, and that my husband is in my life because I choose for him to be there, and I'm in his life because he chooses for me to be there, not because, oh my God, what would I do if he wasn't in my life anymore? It would be sad, I would grieve, it would be hard, but at some point I would be able to move through that pain and go on and hopefully maybe, find another relationship or new things in my life. And once I realized that, I was like, oh wow, I really want him to be here, I'm fighting for this, And the thing was, when I went into counseling, that very first session with us, I was I remember the counselor saying to us, how hard do you want to work on this? I said, listen, I'm here, okay? I'm paying my money. I'm showing up for an hour. I'm here. I want to grow. I want to change. I don't just want to fix our marriage. I want to have the best marriage possible. I don't want to just fix myself. I want to have the best days possible. And I think that you have to kind of have that attitude, with anything. If anything you want to be successful at in life, you have to go into it being I am going to be successful. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put all of my, energy that I have into this thing while I'm being there. That goes back to the being present. Whatever you're doing that you're putting your time and energy into, don't have, ASS it. In that moment, be completely committed to what you are doing in that moment, and enjoying it and appreciating it and being passionate about that. Whether that's marriage counseling or carpentry and gardening or crocheting, like my friend Mel, she loves to crochet. If you want to be the best at something, if you want to improve upon something and do something really well, in that moment, stay focused and put everything you have into it, Well, there was a moment, after 4 years of not going to meetings and coming back in, when I was there's a saying, how sober do you want to be, I wanted to be really, really sober. And not just putting the drink and the drug down. I wanted sobriety to just come from every, pump through every vein in my body, I wanted that to be a way of life. I want it to be a design for living, as we talk about, you know, and righting the wrongs of my past and continuing to be a better person and trying to grow into being a better person on a daily basis. I want that for myself and for all of you and for all of us out there. I want that, you know, but I can't stand in the way of my own progress. I have to be willing to do the work, and I have to be willing to allow things to work for me in my life, you know. So, you know, it's interesting every once in a while, like I'll run across somebody and they'll, you know, say like, oh, you're sober. And like, they'll say, do you go to those meetings? They usually call them classes. They'll say, do you go to those classes? And I say, yeah. And they'll go, they never worked for me. Like, I went to those classes. They didn't work for me. And I always want to say, like, I actually have a funny story about this with my friend Tanya, but I'll save that for another night, but, or another day or another morning or another night, like it is right now. But, you know, it's always interesting to me, and I always kind of say, like, well, how hard did you, like, work it? Did you give it a chance? Or, no, those meetings don't work. Those classes don't work. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it works for me. I'm still here at 26 years, so, you know, I don't know. I think at some point, I had to stop standing in the way of my own success, and I had to realize I want it bad enough that I'm willing to do what people suggest to me, you know? That's the other thing, is it's like, the program that I work is just one of suggestions. I can take them or I can leave them. You know, how sober do I want to be? How happy do I want to be? You know, when I go through my day, when people give me suggestions, you know, this would be easier. This would make your life easier. If you did this, this would be easier. Well, how happy do I want to be? How much do I want to grow? Or do I want to continue to stand in the way of my own happiness and the way of my own success and the way of my own growing as a better human being? And most importantly, like I said, in the way of my own happiness. I don't. You know, I don't want to stand there anymore. So I want to stand in the sunlight of the Spirit. Anyway, let me know what you think about those meditations. What? And in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.